let's talk some nuances here, right? We know a lot in Chicago. Most of our listeners know you're gonna deal with taxes. You're gonna deal with getting a tenant out. It's gonna be a huge pain in the ass. Like we know either firsthand or from listening to podcasts like this, the headwinds against you. But now that you've been in another market, what are some things where you're like, ooh, maybe this isn't that bad?
I'm really bullish on Chicago right now. And we talked about this a few weeks back, but I would say a couple of key differences in Chicago versus, say, Indianapolis market, or Cincinnati, which we also own a property there. First of all, are deal terms. When you're making an offer in a Chicago property versus one of those types of markets, the deal terms are a lot different. Anywhere from earnest money to access periods and finance contingencies, completely different worlds. Also, the competition.
Wait, let's dive deep. I don't want to cut you off, but let's dive deep there. Give us some examples. Let's, if you could, get some tangibles here.
So if you're going to look at a property in Cincinnati, Indianapolis, or Columbus, or really any of those other states that people consider growth states or red states, over the last 24 months, almost every offer had some form of hard earnest money upfront, which means that you're putting down $50,000 or $100,000 upfront, non-refundable, at contract signing. Now, most of those contracts would allow for a short early access period in which you can go in and see a handful of the units and do a quick financial review, but then you're taking the property subject to as is, unless there's something wrong with survey, title, or environmental. So that's a huge difference. Just to play, especially in any of the bigger properties, call it $5 million and up, you're coming in with $50,000 or $100,000 hard earnest money day one. So that's one major difference right there.
So real quick though, it's almost like, I'll call it attorney review. Like you have the 5 days to get your act in order. And after that, regardless of your financing falls apart or anything, like you're on the hook for whatever that original earnest money deposit was.
Exactly. And there's really no financing contingencies in those markets either, not in the last couple of years. It's starting to shift a little bit now, the last 90 days, just with the interest rate market going crazy. But over the last 24 months, almost no property had any kind of finance contingency.
What's the reason behind that? Like, what do they see in those markets that they do? Is it just that hot of a market? Like, what's the story behind that? I'm curious.
I think one thing is because there's a lot of national buyers coming into those markets, where in the Chicago area, it seems like it's more local buyers. So there's buyers from the coast that come into Chicago, especially into the South Side market. But for the most part, in the North Side or the suburban markets, it's mostly either local buyers or people who already own properties here, even if they're not based locally. Where in Indiana, Ohio, markets like Texas, Denver, Atlanta, Phoenix, there's national buyers coming in from all over the place. So the competition is a lot higher. And a lot of the larger groups as well, the more institutional ones, they're going into those markets as well.
Got it. So give us an idea on competition. Let's pull on that thread a little. I don't want to take words out of your mouth, but I got to assume that that's also different comparing between Cincy, Indy, and Chicago.
Absolutely. It's a completely different ballgame. Not just hard earnest money and the finance contingencies, but you really have to have a good relationship with the broker in those markets. I think far fewer deals trade off market. Most of them come onto market in Indiana and Ohio specifically, where we bought. And those properties, you have to have a great relationship with the broker. You have to prove that you have a track record and that you can close. And a lot of them, they give you a questionnaire to submit with your best and final offer. And included in that questionnaire is how many properties have you bought in the last 3 years? How many closed at purchase price? If you backed out or had to renegotiate the price, what was the reason for it? Do you have your financing in place? So it's completely different. You don't see that as much here in Chicago.